And 33% of our school garden programs have no budget at all. So I just want to sit with that one for a moment. 33% have no budget at all, nothing. They do this completely out of their own pockets. They run around asking for donations. It's really kind of staggering how little money all of this actually takes. Assessment data, the strengths. So some of the information that we got back from people was that these gardens are accomplishing many ends. Teachers are teaching common core topics, STEM, health and nutrition, social and emotional skills, all of this as well as many other things are happening through our gardens. And I really want to highlight that because I feel like our ends are your ends. With your strategic plan and your discussions about the whole child and academic strengths and job preparedness training, we are doing that in the gardens in really innovative ways. We have some really supportive partners. Common Vision, hoping you guys know sort of about the fruit tree orchards that they are planting in the schools. Urban Tilth, another phenomenal urban ag program. UC Berkeley has provided us both with labor on the part of students who are coming out as well as plants and other supplies. We have an established history of providing resources to school gardens in our district. We have been around since 2007 and have been doing what we can from the get-go to support the gardens. And we have a strong foundation of existing school garden programs, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more. So, thriving school garden programs. We have 7 thriving garden programs, and just can go ahead and look at the names. Gompers High School, Harding Elementary School, Madera Elementary, Richmond College Prep Charter School, Richmond High School, Verde Elementary School, and Washington Elementary School. Our criterion basically are that these schools have at least 3 out of 4 of the following characteristics. They have a large budget, $10,000 or more per year on site. They have a well-developed garden infrastructure. They have raised beds, they have irrigation, they have some sort of shed. A high percentage of students are served, meaning 70% or more of the entire student population at that school makes it into the garden in some fashion during instructional time, after school, or at recesses. And they have some sort of garden coordinator position. This is not incidental, that a high number of these schools actually have some sort of paid position at the school that is a garden coordinator position, whether it is part-time or full-time. Next up, we have sustaining school garden programs. We have 14 that we categorized in this fashion. Alvarado Adult School, Collins Elementary, Lavanya Dijon Middle School, Ellerhorst Elementary School, Fairmont, Ford, Hercules, Kennedy High, Kensington, Lupine Hills, Mira Vista, Murphy Elementary School, Perry's Elementary School, and Riverside. Okay? These are schools that exhibit at least 3 out of 4 of the following characteristics. They have a staff member or members on site who actively manage the garden. They have an established garden site with some raised beds. And they have the desire and ability to grow that program. And I just want to point out again that all of this data was basically gathered by 8 people, face-to-face, visiting 54 schools. So last up, we have surviving school garden programs. We have about 12 that we classified in this manner. Cameron, Crespi, Dover, Hannah Ranch, Helms, Highland, Lincoln, Olinda, Shannon, Steege, Terra Hills, and Vista High. And by our estimation, surviving programs are barely holding on, and they generally serve less than 10% of their school population. Most times, these are programs that are run by one teacher who manages to get his or her kids out there on a regular basis, but nobody else really uses the facility. You know, they're often missing some or all of the rest of those components. So oftentimes they have little to no budget, and little to no budget means $500 or less for a school year. Maybe they're lacking staff or community support, like there's not an overall consensus among the staff that this is something of value. And oftentimes they're missing some sort of functioning garden infrastructure. It was interesting to us the number of schools that have some sort of irrigation issues that they have not been able to fix. Whether they never got water in the first place, or they installed drip irrigation and then it was not working subsequently. So that tends to be a big issue, as well as things like not having a shed to store equipment, or having problems with gophers is another really big one, or deer. So the ones we commonly have in our home gardens as well. So assessment data, these are the obstacles that we found that people had in common. Obviously a lack of funding, both at the site and administrative level. As I said, 60% of these programs have budgets of $500 or less. Okay. Insufficient professional development around teaching and learning in gardens. 40% of programs report a need for training and or assistance with program management. So a lot of times it comes down to classroom teachers saying, I'm not sure if I know how to do this. I don't have a green thumb, or I'm not sure if I can manage a classroom in the garden. And we feel that some very sort of simple professional development about how you actually do that would get even more people out using their garden spaces. Another common problem was no established lines of communication with the district around a garden establishment, maintenance, etc. So not being clear who to go to with questions around, can I do this? Should I do this? What should this look like? One of the things that we've been talking about internally is that an MOU of some sort around sort of garden establishment, maintenance, and dissolution would probably make a lot of sense, both for people at the site level as well as for the district. Site issues with vandalism, animal pests, irrigation, those are some of the other kind of obstacles that school garden programs are facing at the individual sites. So we did all that work, we went and talked to all those people at those schools, we heard about what was working and what wasn't, and we took that information, and that has informed our goals for the rest of the school year and for next. So number one, we want to make sure we continue to do a really great job of sharing resources. This means developing curriculum that is accessible to folks who are not gardeners to use in outdoor classrooms. We're going to continue, this is actually our second year doing bulk supply ordering, and I know that we'll be sending out an invitation to some of the district staff to come and join us. We're having the meeting April 2nd at Madera Elementary, and we take our meager funds and we go and we use that to basically go to vendors and say, hey, if you give us a special deal on these supplies, you're not supporting just one school garden, you're supporting 20. So we were doing that this year, and actually we have, last year we supported 9, and this year we have 19 at this point that we are buying supplies for. And so the date is April 2nd, it's Madera Elementary from 4 to 6. I invite you guys to come out, because not only are we sharing supplies, I'm getting to give a spiel about green entrepreneurships, and the business program that I'm running with my 6th graders at Madera Elementary School, which is run through our school garden program. Also, we have a collaborative greenhouse that we set up with a Symbol restaurant. They have a victory garden over there, and we are using their greenhouse to start seedlings for our school gardens. This saves our gardens a lot of money. I don't know if you've ever tried to buy like organic starts from Annie's or anywhere else. They're quite expensive, and this way we can start them essentially for free and share them out with schools so they can just plant them in their gardens. We want to continue to grow our partnerships. This means improving communication with community and district stakeholders, letting you guys know what we're doing and making sure that we know who to connect with if we have questions. And we want to expand and diversify our support structure. Last up, we want to make sure we're providing training for our members. One of the things we're piloting this year is a mentorship program where we are connecting people in our organization who have a lot of experience around school gardens with people at the sites who want to do it but feel like they don't really know how to. And that's proving to be a really powerful partnership and a great way to leverage some of our kind of wisdom that we have collectively at this point. We also want to be doing customized workshops sort of around the things that our members have said that they really need help with, one of those being outdoor classroom management. We jokingly refer to it as like, how do you turn making a salad into a task for 30 kids? Providing training also is networking events. That's a really big deal where we're able to bring together not only our school garden leaders or advocates, but also the people within the community who support our work so that people can sort of be aware of all the resources that are available to them. So, in order to get all of that done, what do we need? We would love office space somewhere. I think it would be awesome if we could actually have some office space in one of the district buildings so that we can rub elbows with people and let them know who we are. Part of my actually grand green vision is that we also get to put in a demonstration garden somewhere on the district grounds so that people can actually experience kind of farm-to-table living at their workplace and realize, oh, this is really nice. Hey, all the kids in our district should have this opportunity as well. Routine communication with the grounds department would be also very lovely so that we can iron out some of the little hitches that come up when sometimes people do things at sites without actually checking in with people. And also so they can make sure that if they have loads of mulch, that they can drop those off at the sites that need them. Little things like that. Assistance with maintenance, such as